people like of all ages that I'm talking to that all of a sudden are like getting diagnosed with ADHD.
Like adults
Pardon?
too? Adults too?
Adults, yeah, like I've had people in their 60s that are saying they're getting diagnosed now and putting on medication and all different age ranges. It doesn't feel right to me. I'm like, is this just, if we're going through this rise of consciousness or we're connecting to higher frequencies of energy now, is it more of that and people not knowing how to control it?
It's a part of programming. Look how strategic social media changed. Well, first TikTok, we think it's something harmless. It's not. It's designed to turn us into sheep. And then all of a sudden, Facebook added the reels. YouTube insists almost every day. If you have a channel, you probably get this constant notifications from YouTube. Give us shorts, create more shorts. We'll pay you now, create shorts. Don't worry about real content. People want shorts. What does it do? Now your program, it takes only a few months. Now you cannot process anything long. Your focus only now under 1 minute. You cannot process more information. I have clients, they say, I'm working on my doctorate. I always thought of myself as an intelligent person. Now I cannot read at a time more than one page. I don't understand anything. What happened? People are just going stupid. It's all part of programming. You have to unhook. You have to regain control of your life. Do whatever's necessary for your work, but don't consume mindlessly those cute cat videos. They're there for a reason.
That makes sense.
Wow.
Changes on physical level, our neurology, the way our brains wire. You do it enough time, it will be very, very hard to undo. Now you have to reshape your brain again, and that would take a lot more work. You give these tips to your clients because you're going to see it more and more. For kids and for adults, these problems. Plan your hardest work that takes more brain power for morning hours. First 2.5 hours, this is the most because you're rested. Before you even hook into YouTube or turn TV on or whatever, podcasts, before you do that, you also have to take silent breaks through the day. And especially you need at least half an hour in the evening. Unhook from anything, meaning you not receiving any information, because the incoming stimulants have to stop for brain to actually start processing what we've received. We read, we watch videos, the music, people that we talked. This is all upcoming information stimulants. Everything has to stop and everything has to go silent for the brain actually start processing everything that we received. Once it processes, it's only then can make some sort of conclusion, choice, and give us decisions. If that stream of upcoming stimulants never stops, imagine we're overloaded. And then that anxiety comes in because we know we have to decide something. Every day we have to make so many different decisions and choices, but we cannot because we don't give a chance to our brain to do this. Silent breaks through the day, few times, at least few minutes, and create that window, 20, 30 minutes in the evening of quiet time. Go take a bath because you can't do anything in here. There's no choice but relax. Meditate. With kids, you cannot make them meditate. Then has to be the whole family involved. Now we're going to listen classic music in silence. Maybe even in the dark. Throughout the day with the little kids, they need nap. Everything has to go off. Get quiet for a little bit, even if they don't sleep, but they need this quiet break. They're more likely to do this as parents do. And if it's problematic, then parents need to do it for themselves, then children will do that for themselves too. Because they see their parents do it. Can you do what you want? Mommy needs quiet time. Everybody's talking about ascension and global awakening, but the intelligence level overall, let's be honest here, this is the dumbest humanity have ever been, at least on my watch. This is the dumbest we've been. Maybe tiny percentage is awakening. But also that, what do we call the awakening? When you buy yourself a crystal and come up with some cute nickname. I'm a light worker now, pink dusty crystal angel. No, awakening is becoming aware of what's going on right in front of you. So many people are not aware. They don't have enough smarts to understand what's happening.
So one thing I want to share with you guys is, but with TikTok, like, you know, it's there for a reason and it's all part of a programming. I've noticed since probably Christmas, if I'm say working and somebody in the house has a TikTok on, it's like my brain starts to short circuit, like even driving with the radio on, and then my son in the vehicle, he'll watch a TikTok and it's like you have to turn that off. It's like complete overload all at once.
Something else is coming besides what our ear can detect. There's something more coming on through it. Definitely.
Because I thought I was like
Some sort of
there was something
signaling
wrong with
embedded
me.
messages.
Even the Facebook Reels, because I know they are parts of TikToks. It's like I literally am like, shut it off, shut it off, shut it off.
Yeah, I don't watch those.
I don't watch them either. I just don't. I'm constantly busy with something else, so I don't.
Yeah, my boyfriend watches other people's stories and it just goes and goes. And I just ask him, like, why are you watching that? I just don't get it. To me, it's just like, it's just disturbing.
He probably doesn't even know anymore because it sucks people in like a swamp.
Yeah, like, oh, what did Carol eat today? Like, let's go see.
Who cares?
I completely agree that it sucks you in. Like my husband, he'll wake up in the middle of the night watching Facebook Reels. I'm like, what are you doing? It's 4:00 in the morning. You woke up just to watch Facebook Reels? It's horrible.
I was using TikTok because it makes it so easy to make videos, like, because Facebook, like you said, was saying, oh, make shorts, you'll get a lot more views on your channel. So I was making shorts with TikTok because it like puts the music even to like the way it's crazy how it does it. Like if you turn your head, it'll pick a song for like the perfect beat to it.
Imagine the technology behind it. What else does it do that we're not aware of?
I feel like I'm questioning everything technological nowadays. Even being on Zoom sometimes, I'm like, is this even good anymore? Like, I feel like everything we do is being watched and listened to.
Oh,
and
yes.
It's just,
Oh,
you
yes.
know, it's so unnerving.
Even
You
Google
know-
Docs. I'm like using, oh, sorry to interrupt, but I'm using Google Docs and I'm like, is this information going to go into ChatGPT? Like, is this going to become like
I feel like Google's one of the worst. I don't know. There's so contradictory inside of myself because sometimes I'm like, I want to go off grid, but then how do I do my business? How do I advertise? How do I get the clients? I don't want to be connected, but I do. It's so hard to know what the fine line is and like what outlet is actually safe and what's not. And it's overwhelming actually when you really start to think about it all. Like I live rural, so I'm in my home, but I'm away from like, you know, big centers. I drive an hour to get anywhere. So in a sense, I am disconnected. But then when I go, I rent like space in town and go work. I feel short circuited, kind of like Kelly, what you said. When I get into town and there's like all the electricity that I don't experience at home, and like electromagnetic fields are huge for me. I feel just like hit with a bus almost. I get exhausted easily. It's hard to handle. And I often think, how do people live in this every day? Like at least I can go home. But
you know
I
the
just kind of-
difference because you have a chance to experience it. Lots of people don't know any difference. They think this is
Right.
all there is. There is nothing
yeah,
else.
it's just, and I find like I'm more feeling it more and more. And like Walmart, I can't even go to Walmart. I don't know what it is about Walmart itself, but it's like I'm just walking into this like minefield. Like I just feel like I'm getting like hit with stuff, and I just can't wait to get the heck out, you know? So I like avoid it at all costs now. Do people feel this, or is this just like, I just feel it so strongly. So yeah,
I'm the same. And like Tanya, I have an hour drive too, like to go to the nearest, because I live rural Alberta. I have nobody around me, and it's a huge deal. If I even have to go to town, it's like I have to prepare myself. I'm going to see people. There's going to be people around
There are
me.
people everywhere.
I can't people, you guys. I can't people.
yeah, I know. I love connecting with people. Yeah, it's just that the amount of people and the amount of energy that you're absorbing. And I mean, I protect as much as I can, but you can't stop it all. But it makes you really think about, like, for us that do get away from it and then you get into it. When you talk about this generation being the dumbest, I can see why. When you can't get away from that, and it is like pulling and draining your energy at like every direction, I can just see how it's destroying humanity. It really is. But we have like a government that wants that. So what do? Move back into the bush and live off the land, I guess. And
I'm noticing that with my kids, like, because this is all they've ever known, right? Like just rural lifestyle. They were born here, and having to go into a city, they get no quiet. And my daughter, she's 13, and she's like, how do people do this? Because there is no quiet here. If we go outside, you might hear, some animals or whatever, but in the city, there's the sirens, there's vehicle noise, there's people everywhere. She even gets like overloaded. It's crazy to see that.
And there seems to be more ever since, I don't know if you see this in where you're located, but less patience since COVID. Like,
Yeah.
when we go out in public now, where people used to be like, oh no, you go ahead, or let someone in line, or even in traffic. Now it's like each to your own. Like, this is survival now. Like, if you want to get in line, you better darn well get in line, because no one's
Everybody's
like,
got zombified.
yeah.
They did. They did.
That
And if
happened
you're
to me. I
nice
was
to
just
somebody, they don't know
traveling.
how to react.
I was just traveling and that happened. I was overwhelmed. Oh my goodness, the rudeness has vamped up. Yeah.
I think
Raina, you
because
look
there's
fabulous.
What was that, Annie?
Sorry, just side note, Raina, you look fabulous in red once
Oh.
again.
yeah, red is definitely your color. I think there is so much disconnection from real world. People lose that perception of what's real, what's virtual. That's why they behave like this. It's just plain characters. It's not real people. Also, every time we get into the topic, the number of real humans decreases. So now they say only 20% of people that around you is human being. The rest, they're called different beings. They're not real.
Shells.
Well, everybody's calling them differently. Some say aliens, some say just what is this, like feelers? I heard that word.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Well,
I've
more,
heard like call them also backdrop people. I don't know, backdrop
Yeah.
people.
yeah.
I don't know.
And even with clients, it used to be rare. Somebody would come and, there is no light inside. No light, nothing, like no soul, basically. No soul. But now it's like every second.
You can sense that over the phone too with people.
This is what they would complain about. I can't really feel anything. I'm present. I don't think I've ever been in love. I've seen it in the movie, how people do that. I'd like to experience it. I'm married because that's what you're supposed to do, right? They would use words like, I'm just doing what everybody does, or I've been told to do this, or I feel like I'm living a program. This is like one of the most common things they would say. I feel that I'm living a program. Aren't you? I'm just doing what I'm supposed to. This is what's expected from me. I'm reading the books, I'm watching a movie, and I see people experiencing life, and I just don't feel it. It's like even they come into more awareness of something isn't right.
I'm a seer. I see a lot of things. And so One of the things that I saw in the last couple of years is this thing that I never saw before. So when I see like a chakra and I'm looking at the energy, sometimes I'll see objects or like, you know, the blockage. I've been seeing like right in the third eye of a lot of people, it looks like this dark ball with, it almost looks like a spider. Like it has like these fingers, you know, that are like latched in, and working with the energy, trying to clear it. It was like this so strong that it would be there. And the minute that I could get it to lift off, something came in to replace it.
Wow.
And like this insistent dark energy that was trying to come in and cover the third eye, which is your joy center. It's so strange, like the things that I've heard clients say coming in, and they would say it in this way. And I thought, I wonder if they can hear themselves, would be, I keep hearing that I don't belong here anymore. They would say it like that. I'm hearing I don't belong here anymore. I keep hearing a voice in my head telling me that I should just kill myself. And it would be those same people that I'm seeing this thing here that look like, honestly, look like artificial intelligent type of thing in there, that when clearing it out would just want to come right back in again. I had like a period, it was like a phase where I had days where I had client after client and they all came in saying the same phrases and seeing this thing there. And I was like, what is this? That was never a thing before.
Well, it
But
is.
do you keep that to yourself that that's there? Or
Yeah,
do
I
they
don't
feel
tell
that?
them.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't tell them. I would just work on it and work on it and work on it until I could push some light into there enough to keep it out. But no, I wouldn't say it to them. Although sometimes, depending who it is, if a client's really open to energy and they've already worked with like, you know, the idea of a dark energy and light energy, then I would say, you have a dark energy that's very strong here, and ask them to help me visualize it for themselves and ask them to visualize golden light coming in there, because the more that they themselves do it, the stronger the potential to clear that is, right? Depending on who the client is and how open they are to that work, I would talk about it in that way. But yeah, really, really disturbing actually for a while. I was like, this is something I've never seen. And the way they were talking, the way they were describing themselves and their feelings was really quite, I was afraid for some of them, because they were just wanting to take their life. And it wasn't like I feel like I don't belong here. It was, I hear a voice telling me I don't belong here.
Well, ladies, this is a harvesting phase we're going through. That's why there's so many disasters and so many people die. Remember how we did it stepping into the warrior state when you do shamanic healing? You teach them to this.
To get bigger and merge with the
But
elements.
to reclaim the strength, to connect to their creator, their God, to get connected to the earth, to stay here, to reconnect it to their ancestors, and recognize I am both of me of this body. I have the power to decide how I'm gonna live, to give them that power. But many people don't want that too. They don't want that. It's easier to just give up. How many years we've been programmed for just go with the flow. That fish goes with the flow.
Do all of you believe or work with spirit attachment?
Yeah.
I find often when people don't want it, it's not them that doesn't want it. It's usually that there's a spirit attachment that doesn't want it, and it's trying to tell them that they don't want it. So often, like when I experience someone like kind of resisting their own healing, but they're coming in, so you know that their inner self, their true self brought them there. But this other part is like trying to refuse the healing. I find like just starting off with like clearing spirit attachment just shifts the whole session completely. So I almost do that. I would say that's probably one of the first things I do before I even work on somebody, is clearing out all attachments, entities, anything like that. And it really shifts the whole outcome. With every person I work on, even those ones with those dark energies, I've learned how to clear that without saying it, because some people are not open to it or afraid of that idea.
Yes, also
So,
imagine sending somebody home. Now they don't have you there
yeah,
protecting them. Now it's going to be always in their mind, there is something attached to me and I can't do
yeah.
anything about it.
So I don't say it. How I put it, I like found a term and I call it like negative energy. And I explain to people negative energy is anything below light and love. So if you feel sadness, fear, frustration, anything like that is a negative energy for us. And so in my mind, my intention is that when I say negative energy, it includes all those lower vibration feelings plus attachments and souls. But that's a contractor, something I have between my angels and myself when I'm working. So I, just kind of lump it into clearing negative energy so that that person doesn't feel fearful of it. It's like we're just bringing love and light into the areas that are feeling less than. And it seems to work, it's like they're okay with that terminology. Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way. When I first started, my other shaman that I worked with, just said souls, right? And so I did a few off the beginning like that and had someone approach me saying like, that you're putting fear in people. And it was a hard lesson learned, right? Where I was like, I never thought of it in that way. That wasn't my intention. And because I'm comfortable with it, I should have never assumed someone else was, right? So ever since then, that was kind of how I changed my wording and changed that, but still being able to do the work. What are your thoughts on that, Guzalia?
You have to adapt to every client, use their
Yeah.
language. Yes, sometimes
Yeah.
I just say some luggage you've been carrying around.
Right.
In their mind, it's like maybe something they stuck with. Don't know what they really think sometimes. They will apply it to whatever they believe, their own heavy feelings, stagnant energy or attachments, whatever they believe in. Sometimes I see people only once, there is no time for me to investigate everything. What is this luggage you've been dragging around? What doesn't feel right? Let's release that. Even they themselves may not have any words for it. But if you use this vague language, then their subconscious mind may find a way to apply it.